All right, everybody, we are trying this again. If you've seen us 30 minutes before but couldn't hear us, or if you're seeing us for the first time this afternoon, you're ahead of the others because we were just live everywhere across all the streams, coming to you, letting the bass drop. And we had no volume thanks to Restream and its poor systems. I don't know what's going on. It's been 2 weeks now that I've been jacking with Restream, and I'm done with it. Done. See you later, Restream. I'm on StreamYard right now, and we're going to go on StreamYard. Let me get Christy's name because she's not in this today. Let's see. We're going to layouts, general. I might not even be able to change it now that we've started. Oh, darn it. Let's see. Oh, well, doesn't matter. Christy is here with us in spirit then. So Jeremy and Christy Torres in spirit. Anyway, I'm telling you, this Restream has got me at my wit's end. We've got I'm over it. So we're going to go ahead and just go with StreamYard. It's why not, right? It's the same thing. And what I did on my last 2:30, we started. I wanted to celebrate some birthdays today, and I just said, "Screw it, we're gonna do it tomorrow. Do the same thing." But it's not the same people's birthdays tomorrow, so we're gonna go ahead and redo the show right now, starting from the top. If you can hear me, give me a hell yeah. I'm gonna get the private chat up here, so you might be able to chat just the same, no matter where you're seeing us today. You should be able to chat in the live box there. So. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I've known these two people whose birthdays today for 40 years, everyone. 40 years. Rich Obby. Today is Rich Obby's birthday. So happy birthday to you, Rich. I've known both of these people since 1984, believe it or not. Rich Obby's birthday is today. And Robert Walker, or as I like to call him, Bobby. Bobby Walker. He doesn't spend a whole lot of time on Facebook, as you could tell, but I'm glad to have him in my life still after 40 freaking years. Still talking to Bobby and his wife Patty, and still keeping up with Rich and the others from the South Broward High School class of 1989. But 40 years ago, we all started in ninth grade together. Bobby, we met in ninth grade, but he wasn't a South Broward guy. He was a Dania Beach guy, but he actually went to Plantation. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Today, we're here to talk about D.I.S.C as a sales strategy. And so today, I'm going to show you how to use D.I.S.C. And D.I.S.C is the observable language. So what you'll do is go over to Coaching Done Better and sign up for a free account if you want to learn and get better in your mind, body, your business. Sign up for a free account. I'm just going to sign in here. I'm going to go to my vault. And if anyone just goes and signs in, they can go to my vault and they can get all the stuff that they want learned on D.I.S.C. And they can download it. You just go here and download it. Really, it's that simple. So come right down here and you just download it. D stands for perception or dominance. So let's go ahead and we're going to walk you through a couple of these things, but we're going to talk about really how we could use D.I.S.C as a sales strategy. Let me back out of here and go to, I have a whole booklet here, whole e-booklet here you can download. All you would do is hit that button, but I'm just going to blow this up right here. It's the universal language of observable behavior, D.I.S.C. And so we'll just go through this real quick, the hows and the whats. I'm not going to be reading all this to you, but D.I.S.C defined. It's the four components of D.I.S.C are defined as dominance, influence, steadiness, and compliance, D-I-S-C. All right, we score people on an assessment. If you like those assessments, reach out to me and I can get you an assessment and let you know what you are. I'll do a quick assessment. It takes about 20 minutes and then it takes us about an hour to go through. There's a lot of stuff. It's fascinating stuff. But each letter, and most of us are a combination of two things. So I'm a very high D and a very, very high I. I'm almost an absolute C. There's no, I'm an absolute. I mean, absolutely not, nothing, zero. I think I have a 4 on C and a 96 on the I and a 92 on a D. And my C is actually pretty high. I'm actually in the 30s, I think, on C. Comparatively, I'm not as high as DI, but there we go. This is what it would look like on an assessment. This person is a high I and a very high S, and their D and their C is low. There's two sides to this, the adaptive side and the natural side. Anytime you're going to be dealing with somebody, you're going to be dealing with their adaptive style because they're going to be out in public, not at home or on their family, and not at their most comfortable self. So you see how their C goes up and their S goes up when they are out in public, and their I comes down a little bit. But when this is them at work or anywhere you'd be, if they're buying something from you, they're going to be in their adaptive style. So we learn how to read people's DISC traits very, very easily. It, like I said, it's the what you call it, observable language. So I can tell by looking at somebody's the way they dress. I could look at the way they talk. I could look at the desk that they're sitting at. I could look at what they're wearing. I could look at their body posture. Right. As soon as I walk up and meet somebody, if they stick their paw out to shake me, if they give me a fist bump, if they just give me a salute, there's a lot of triggers that you could tell very, very quickly what someone's traits are, dominating traits are. And then what you do to sell them is you lean on or cater to their dominant traits. You match their modality. Their mode is a D, I, S, or C. When you understand what those triggers are by the signs are, you can now change your modality to match their modality. So if they're a D, a very high D, they're a dominance. You can look at they're fast, they talk faster, they're task oriented, they're problem solvers. D's are looking for results. D's it's how one responds to problems and challenges. So what you'll do is if you think someone's a D, you might talk to them about a problem or challenge, and the way they respond will be very telling as to whether you're right, if high D, or if you're wrong. Now their body language, okay? They're forward leaning, hands in pocket, perhaps fast, always looking for somewhere to go. Lots of hand movements when talking, big linear gestures. Okay. A D, how to create engagement, provide freedom to create and develop their ideas, keep them challenged, always give them a forum for sharing their opinions and ideas, right? Values to a team. If you're looking to hire somebody and you need this person on your team, then look for somebody with these traits. If you need someone who's self-starting, forward-looking, organizer, who embraces challenges and places high value on time, hire a D. And then again, you can give assessments to your, you're probably going to get 100 resumes. You're going to narrow them down to 10 interviews. 10 people show up. You're going to narrow those down to 2 or 3. Give those 2 or 3 assessment. And then that way you'll be able to make sure that you're hiring the right person for the job that you need, that will give you a well-rounded team. There's something called a group wheel we can do for your company that tells you where everyone is on your team. And normally it's funny when we do a group wheel, you're going to see a very heavy loaded wheel, because the person who's hiring the people usually like to hire people like themselves. So I'm a very high D, very high S. But if I need a very high I should say, but if I'm looking for somebody who's a real data person, data driven, right? Or a real gatekeeper, somebody who doesn't like the spotlight, but really likes to be very supportive of the team, I might not be the best person to hire, to recognize that in someone and hire them, because I'm looking for somebody with my traits. It's just a natural thing to do. So if I give these top 3 or 4 people a DISC assessment, then I see that these people are higher in I and D. I may not want to hire them. I want to hire someone who's higher in S and C. And as long as you're not basing the entire hire or fire off that assessment, if it's just a part of the overall criteria to hire somebody, it's perfectly legal to do this. So I know some of you are going, it's illegal, it's against, no, it is legal, as long as you're not making that the only basis on whether you're hiring them. Okay. So let's move back over here. And look at communication. The ways to communicate with a high D, like myself, is to be very clear, specific, and to the point. Prevent facts, logical, and efficiency. Um, be prepared for rebuttal or even anger if they disagree, but don't take it personal. Provide facts and look for a win-win opportunity. Give them the freedom to make their own decision. All right. Words that work: quick, advantage, decisive. Words that don't work: inconsistent, patient, or follow directions. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, what does this have to do with sales? Well, we're going to go through the 4 DISC traits, and then we're going to look at something for DISC for you to use as a sales strategy for you to sell to all 4 DISC profiles. So you obviously can sell to yourself, right? So if you see yourself in somebody like me, decisive, advantage, quick, hands, big movements on my hands. Well, I know how to speak to them. Matching their modality is very easy. But what am I going to do to the I, the S, and the C if they're lower on the D, and I come at them like they're a D? I'm not gonna really resonate with them. I'm gonna push them away. I'm gonna repel them. So if I learn just by watching them walk into the showroom or walk into my store, or jump on a Zoom call and look at them, ask them a few questions, what their modality is, and then I match their modality. If I become a C, if I become an S, or if I become an I, I'm going to attract them, and I'm just going to make it easier to make a sale. So with that said, let's go back to the slides here and talk about what I's are. Because again, I'm a very, very high I, high D. So these all work for me too. Again, faster pace, people oriented, communicators. The I is for interaction and influence. You define an I by how one influences people and contacts their point of view to their point of view. Environment. Eyes like being with a high degree of people contact. They are good at establishing a network of contacts, and they need to interact regularly. They don't like rejection, however. D, it doesn't phase them. D is usually doing the rejecting. But the I, if you got a bunch of I's and they're in a sales position and they're getting rejection a lot, it's going to take a lot to keep them energized. So you don't want they are easily disorganized if you get them overextended. So just like I was talking earlier about the desk behind me, you can kind of see. I mean, that's more for show, but I can see what color it is. If I was an eye, I wouldn't be able to see what color that desk was, even though it's for show. There'd probably be more stuff up there, more papers. An eye is highly disorganized when things get a little bit busy. So that's one way I could tell an eye. Body language: feet spread apart, 2 hands in pockets instead of just one hand with the D. Weaves, people focused, may run into things. I know that sounds funny, but think about people, and I'm infamous for weaving and bumping into things. My wife makes fun of me and walks every day. We walk on the beach, and she like bumps me on purpose. She's like, "Come on, what are you doing?" She goes, "I'm being you." Really, really funny that's an indicator of somebody. So big gestures, facial expressions when talking. Hello, those of you who've met me. How to create engagement: provide an environment where communication occurs regularly without a lot of controls or supervision. Okay. Value the team: trustworthy, optimistic, team player. What they love to do is to be around people, especially those like them. Duh. But I'm a really high D and a high I, so I could be alone or with people. I really could be both. I actually prefer to be alone, but when I'm with people, I get my energy from them. So how do they communicate? Their words and full of stories. That's a big one. Bam! Give me a lightning on that one. Full of stories. I'm a very high I. Animated gestures. Ways to communicate with them: talk about people. Hold on. Well, let me get bigger. Talk about people and their goals while allowing time for non-business social interactions. In other words, how's your mom and them? It's okay to ask an I, how's your mom and them? How is everything how's the family? How's the kids doing in little leagues? It's okay to ask that of an I. Do not ask that of a D or a C. Do not ask that of a C for sure. They'll tell you it's none of your business. But if you can ask, you can definitely ask that of an S and an I. Talk about personal things. They like that. They get the energy from that. Things that work, flexibility, excitement, and inspiring things, and things that don't work, words that don't work, ordinary, quiet, and strict. Those don't work. So let's go to S. S stands for steadiness. These are the gatekeepers in any business. These are the administrative assistants. These are the people who love to do everything behind the scene. These are the oil that keeps the company moving, but doesn't really enjoy the spotlight. Okay. They like slower pace. They're people oriented. They respond to pace and consistency of their environment. So if you're in a fast paced environment, they can keep up with it, but they prefer as long as it's consistently fast, not up and down, slow and fast, slow. Whatever their environment is, they'll keep up. But it's good to keep them in a consistent environment. Stable, predictable environment where long-standing relationships are developed. When they get overextended, they become possessive or overextended. Body language, lean back, hand in pocket, steady, easy pace for walking, and will gesture moderately with hands, but not overly, but right here, right? Like that dance Kevin James did with Will Smith, right here. Keep it right here. That's your S, which is funny because that's how my wife dances and she's an S. Steadiness, how to create engagement. Use logical rationale for the assignment of projects and let the person complete the project at their own pace. When seeking change, bring it on gradually. Value to a team, dependable team member, works hard and acts as a great sounding board. They love to work at their own pace with people who they know and trust. The best ways to communicate with an S is deliberate and reserved, yet non-confrontational and friendly. Okay, and how to communicate with them. That's right. That's how they communicate: reserved and deliberate, non-confrontational and friendly. The best way to communicate with them is to break the ice by showing sincere interest in them as people, listening and be responsive. Ask a lot of how questions, gather more information, and transition conversations casually and informally. Provide assurances and give them time to respond. All right. Words that work is consistent, usual, and secure. And your words that do not work is unexpected, urgent, and they don't like confrontation. And finally, the C's of the group. These are your accountants, your bean counters. All right. Your buyers. These folks are extremely slow paced and task oriented. They're the analyzers of the company. They like facts. They respond to procedures and constraints. If you give a C exactly what to do, they would love you for it. Tell them every little thing that you need done. They thrive in situations that require critical thinking and analysis, prefer scenarios where noise and people are at a minimum, and where standards or quality are valued and prioritized. Okay. They are very critical in nature when overextended. Body language is arm folds, one hand on chin. They're the thinkers. Okay. They walk straight, they're well reserved, and they use little or no gestures when they're talking. They're buttoned up, right? They got the tie on, they got the top button, they got their shirt tucked in. Their desk is really clean. If it's not at a right angle, it's at a wrong angle. Okay. That's how you can tell a C. Ways to communicate is to put things in writing, expectations in writing, as many details as possible, including time, avoid sudden changes and plans, and give them time to think and project through thoroughly. All right. Lead via strict adherence and company policy. If they got a book, that's how they're going to do it. The value to the team is conscientious, objective, and perfectionist, maintains high standard. All right, detail oriented. They love to complete projects thoroughly and detailed analysis and testing. So the things, how they communicate is very direct, very to the point, as much facts and figures as possible. Do not bring an opinion to a high C because they're going to call you on it. If you bring some stats, they're going to call you on it. They're going to ask you where you got those numbers from. You should know where you got your numbers from, your data from, if you bring some data to a C. Be prepared with your ideas and facts laid out in logical fashion. Be straightforward and specific. Create an action plan with specific time frames and give them their space. Words that work are factual, precise, and verified. Words that do not work is imagine, experimental, and educated guess. So, in a nutshell, very quick overview. That was what DISC is. And now we're going to talk a little bit about how it relates to selling. So, I don't remember when we talked about it on this show or the one that failed at 2:30, but my buddy Larry Long Jr., Mr. CEO, Chief Excitement Officer, I should say, CEO, Chief Excitement Officer, talks about defining sales. What is sales? And my answer has always been solving a person's problem, solving a problem that somebody has and doesn't want with a solution that they want and don't have. Provide the solution, and that's your sale. Your sale is providing the solution to a problem somebody has. So, what we're going to do is we're going to come back out here and I'm going to show you in the plenty of in the coaching done better platform. In the vault here, there's all these resources on DISC, and we just looked at the DISC Observable Language ebook, which you can download for free. Just join coachingdonebetter.com. Say, I want to coach. It costs you nothing. Create a little profile, go to the resource vault, download all this stuff for free. Okay, now, sales strategies for D, I, S, and C. Let's look at sales strategies for the D. Where are these things? I just saw. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Sales strategy for D and I. So click on that. And then again, you could just click this and download it, but we're just going to come here and I'm just going to thumb through this worksheet. If you are selling something and you see these characteristics, they're dominant, decision maker. They want to do it now. They want to make up their mind today. They appear insensitive and they resist personal criticism. Avoid telling them what to do or attacking their character. Avoid win-loss challenges or ultimatums. They want power and authority. They want freedom from restraints. They want results. They want personal challenges. So if you could set things up in the way that frames it where they're getting challenged, where they're making the decisions, where they don't feel like it's an ultimatum, you're going to do a lot better at closing a high D. Avoid small talk. Be direct. Be focused on the results. Okay. Don't let's see, just display confidence. Be prepared and from confrontation. Close them, and they must something you. So we have some stuff down here. We've got the answers down here. Let's see, where are these answers? This is all from the original sales funnels, as you can see. But as a D, anyway, a D must trust you. Okay. So a D must trust you. So definitely want to gain their trust. They don't have to like you, but they must trust you. A high I. They like to party. They live the life of party. They're enthusiastic. You walk in and they're just jovial. Okay. They are disorganized, possibly. They don't like the details, but they do love challenges. So you can see there's some crossover between a D and an I here. Okay. Avoid negative conflict, annoyed personal rejection. They want social recognition. They want fun. They like a challenge. And they like authority. They must make decision based on feelings. Okay, feelings. Get them emotionally involved. They must like you. I'm avoiding giving you all of these because I want you to come back and get the answers. The answers are in here, and I want you to come and download this and get the answers yourself. But I'm giving you this bottom line here. Where down here, they must trust you. Right here, it's an I must like you. So try to go for likable with an I. Now let's go over back to the resource vault and look for the sales strategies for an S and a C. Now, these are ways to deal and recognize and deal with and sell and close an S. So, an S is their team players. They're security minded, they resist sudden change, family oriented, and they like to do things later. So, I would say procrastination is a good keyword that might describe an S, a very high S anyway. Avoid sudden changes, competition rather than cooperation. Avoid conflict and aggressive behavior. Uh, Talk to them about one thing at a time. You got to bring things up very controlled. All right, instead of talking about a bunch of facts at once, like the D's like, and even the I's. But the S's like to hear things one at a time and really dive into those things one at a time. They want security for their family, truth and loyalty. Um, be sincere. They don't like change, especially systems that they developed. They want a win-win situation or scenario. They believe in fairness. And an S, an S, I think that's trust. I think D was trust you. I know I is like, and what is this? I know Ray is laughing at me right now. You idiot. Um, I want to say like because I think that I know it's a like is I. Um, S is trust is D. I thought D was trust you. I know I for sure is like you, and I want to say S is like. They must like you, so that must mean I'm wrong with the D. But I'll go back and look on that one. Oh, I know what it is. Ooh, yeah, I got it, Ray. D is not trust. An S must trust you. An I must like you. An S must trust you. A D must respect you. They don't have to like you, but a D must respect you. So when a D is pushing you and you don't push back, they're not going to respect you. And so they won't do business with you. When a D pushes you, they're going and you push back, they're going to respect you. So a D is respect, an I is like you. I must like you because I like everyone. I want everyone to be happy. An S must trust you because they're putting the security into you for their future and their family. So an S must trust you. And finally, sorry, Ray and Tony Leone, who created the whole sales funnel and Sales Funnel University, which you can get right here on Coaching Done Better. But a C, a high C. Now, these are the analysts of the company. They're like, let's do it later. Let's understand everything about this project before we jump into it. They're very reserved, critical thinkers. If you're trying to close or sell a C, you better have all your ducks in a row and have everything laid out for them. Avoid criticizing their work, asking high personal questions. Any personal questions, really, with a C is not good. And they want autonomy. They want very much to follow the rules, personal and professional development, and freedom from personalization. Okay, so let's go over here. Again, I'm going to show you where you can get all these answers. It's over in that booklet. But to come down here, they must nothing you. A C must nothing you. Okay. I know that you want to do more of a fear based close with them. So we would talk about a C. We want to talk about penalizing them on not making a decision versus rewarding them with making a decision. What's going to be the cost of indecision for a C will get them to buy from you rather than the reward of making a decision, like with an I and even an S. But with a C, it's the punishment, the punitive cost of not being decisive, and they must nothing you. It has nothing to do with you. It's all about the facts. So I talked about D.I.S.C, the observable language today. A lot of you came in late. We appreciate you because I came on late because my other platform, which is Restream, kept dropping my audio. So I went over here to StreamYard. And so we started a little later. I hope this worked out for all of us. I want to thank you for watching. Christy will be with me tomorrow. So Jeremy and Christy Torres will be here tomorrow. We want to let you all know that this show is sponsored by Coaching Done Better. You can go there right now and download your free account as a user. Improve your mind, body, and business every day. That's our goal. We thank you. We'll see you tomorrow on Streaming Done Better. All right. Get her done. Improve every day.